Hey guys, it's Monday. Feeling a fair bit better today, so hopefully I'm able to do a session tomorrow. And I said that a lot last week, and I think I should be good tomorrow. But power and heart rate are a bit higher today, which is good. Because like my instincts were just telling me 200 watts, 120 RPM for a lot of last week to do that zone 1, zone 2 / type of recovery ride. Whereas today, happy for the heart rate to be coming up a bit more and produce a bit more power on the pedals. So I'm hoping I'm better. I feel better. I mean, I'm getting better every day. So I don't think it would necessarily help to just take a full day off. Just keep the legs ticking over, you know. But yeah, be sensible still. Aim for around 2.5 hours indoors today. Gonna do some TT work a little bit. Go record my old position. I'm going to change the extensions a little bit. So I'm going to move the arm pads a bit closer towards me and closer together to hopefully make it a bit more aero and more comfortable, because I'll be able to put my elbow rather than my forearm on the pads. I've also got some 165mm cranks that I'm going to put on the TT bike. Probably not today, next couple of days. Do a bit of revamp of the TT position to try and make some sensible adjustments. It looks better in my opinion, and but it's going to take some getting used to learn how to have squeezing my shoulders together more together. Well, squeezing my elbows together like that, having them in that position. Yeah, it doesn't feel horrible. Body position and head position looks quite similar, but obviously just reducing that gap, that void between my chin and my elbows, that void between the hands. So yeah, good change I reckon. Alright, so taking the crankset off, and then I'll move the 1x chainring over to switch out the chainrings here, double speed chainrings to the 170mm crank, the 4-rise crank, so the 165s are on the TT bike. All my chainrings off. All this effort for 0.5 millimeter of reduced crank length. That's the 170 on the right, and then the 165 on the left, the new one. 165s are on the bike now, look exactly the same as the 170s. Got some really cheap 4700 outer chain rings, because I've got a 4700 Tiger group set chain set on my on my bike that's currently in the shop, and I thought I'd check if the 5800 is compatible, but doesn't seem to be. Also gone and switched out the old 90mm stem for a 130mm stem on my old road bike, so the geometry of that should be a lot better, because it's quite a small frame and I'm quite a big boy, so ridiculous long stem there. Yeah, that looks stupid, but whatever. Slam stem, long stem, and get out and ride that tomorrow, see what the geometry feels like. Hey guys, it's Tuesday, gonna get out on the road bike for a little bit to test out the new stem, because obviously big geometry change, so need to know what that feels like before racing again on Saturday. Yeah, and then I think I'm gonna come back and do a TT session, so I haven't done a session in over a week, and still not feeling 100% I'd say, but because it's been a week and it's been this like mild illness, mild cold, I just need to do a session and see how I respond to the session. Like next week, I can take most of next week off as like a proper rest week, and really ease it down if needed. So yeah, I'll do a session, see how I get on with that. Need to learn how to corner with this long boy stem. 40 centimeters lower and 40 centimeters longer. This feels so much better. I feel like I can actually get into an aero position now. Oh well, we've done it now, it's good. No regrets about not doing it earlier. New geometry feels good, and the sprints I did felt nice, so yeah, happy with that.
and I'll get on the TT bike and do some TT threshold efforts and see how I get on with those.
Right now, inner tubes have arrived. Look at them. Feels so weird. Obviously, I've seen them online be so small, but yeah, that's crazy. So yeah, I'm gonna put that in definitely the Zip 404 because it's got a longer valve, so it's got an 85mm valve. So now I'll be able to pump it up, and these are pretty good rolling resistance, a bit slower than the Victoria latex tires I've got in my race wheels, but yeah, at least I'll be able to pump it up properly.
Okay, so I'm going to do the threshold session that I didn't do 2 weeks ago, and that was because I was off the back of the crash. I wanted a few days to ease back into riding, so that's 5 by 10 minutes with 3 minutes recovery. Not dual recording, just got it on the my whoosh and just going to be doing it to feel really. First time using the 165mm cranks. I don't know if it's psychological, but they do actually feel quite small. Can actually feel some sort of difference, I think. I've also got the narrower extensions that I set up yesterday by moving the pads inwards about, I think it's about 1.5 centimetres each one, so, or 2 centimetres, so quite a bit closer together. Not bad for the first session back and first session in the new position, because obviously my arms are a lot narrower and even the cranks seem to make a fair bit of difference to my pedal stroke, so yeah, not sure what the power was because just recording on my whoosh, so I'll analyse it afterwards. Yeah, it didn't seem too bad, but nothing special, nothing crazy, which is fine. But yeah, feeling okay, not getting chesty or sore throat or anything, just a bit phlegmy like I was before. Hopefully I'm on the mend, saying that for the 50th day in the row. But yeah, like I say, just try and train through it this week, and then if it ends up that it's bad, then I can go very easy next week on my deload week. So yeah, happy with that session. Trainer was moving so because I'm getting really forward over my extensions. The bike was moving forward as well as twisting to the right because of my right leg being stronger. I just after like 2 reps because during my rests twice I got off the bike to pull it away from my computer and also straighten it up. So yeah, that's a bit. Need to might fortify this trainer to make it a bit heavier and sturdier so it doesn't move around so much. Whew. Doing like a 15-minute spin topped me up to 90 minutes because already did an hour outside, so 2.5 hours total, that'd be good. And then go to the gym this evening, I reckon. Hi guys, Wednesday. Just 2.5 hours easy indoors today and did some work in TT position, so back to my 20 by 4 minutes of work, but first time in the new position with the shorter cranks and the narrower arms, so yeah, that was good to get that done. Back's looking quite nice, I'd say. Still a lot of work to be done to transfer my efficiency in the old position to this new position. Like, there's a lot of crossover, but at the end of the day it is a new position, so I might experiment with lowering the saddle a bit because my hips do rock from side to side a little bit too much, I'd say. See if I can reduce that with slightly lower saddle height. Try half a centimetre maybe, topping up to 2.5 hours now. Hi guys, it's Thursday. I'm feeling alright, but when I woke up this morning I felt pretty trash, to be honest. So I've decided just to take 2 days easy. I would have taken just a recovery day yesterday anyway, but rather than doing anything crazy today, just gonna do an hour and a half, zone 1, zone 2 sort of thing. Yeah, just spin the legs out. I'm feeling decent now, but yeah, just feeling like I've got symptoms of a cold. But I've not felt really bad at all for like the week and a half that since I guess I've had some sort of symptoms come through. Like this morning, I'm just like really clogged up and phlegmy, but I don't feel wiped out or anything, and I haven't felt like that all week. So yeah, it's a bit weird. But I know it's nothing serious, but it's just a bit annoying because if you like I said to me and my mum were saying, like, if you're really bad, you just you just have to rest up and then you get out your system. Whereas if it's like there's a little cold, then it's like you teetering back and forth with, oh, can I do stuff, can I not do stuff, and it's just a bit annoying really. So yeah, I'm just gonna take 2 days easy, then rest Saturday, rest Saturday, Sunday, race Saturday, Sunday, and I think I should be absolutely fine for that really. Because I mean, I could do a session today and I think I'd be fine. But based on the fact that I'm feeling good at some parts of the day, feeling shit at others, like I'm just gonna take it easy today, and then it might be the case that I'm just completely wiped out by the end of the weekend from doing those races, in which case I'll take my deload week next week like super easy. But if I'm feeling fine for that, then just like a standard deload week with some with some short easy sessions there. And then after that deload week is like what I'm planning on doing, like a 12-week racing block. So yeah, no need to overcook it early, and yeah, I'm just gonna get on the rollers for 20 minutes or so with the road bike. Also, did a bunch of bike maintenance stuff yesterday. I'd serviced the rear brake a few weeks ago, but also serviced the front brake yesterday. So took that all apart, greased it all up. So it's working. It was working all right, but it's working a lot better now. Now I've also made a lot of TT changes this morning. So lowered the saddle slightly, like I was planning on doing yesterday. I've noted that my saddle's slightly tilted, and that's because of how the bracket is in the seat post, and I can't seem to tilt that back to being straight. See how much it annoys me and see if I can sort that out at some point. But yeah, big change to the TT bars. I've made them even narrower, and then they're also coming to a lot sharper of a point. Yeah, even narrower forearms than I had on yesterday, which was a new setup for me. But yeah, like I say, coming to a point a lot closer together. Still space for both hands, but yeah, see how that goes. Play around. So some time on the rollers, and then play around with the new TT setup. Friday, and I'm still making changes to the TT setup. Gonna move the extension slightly further down, so the limit of before it angles up, so move it another centimetre back or so, just that gap there. So then rather than my hands being like this and my thumb reaching out for the shifter, it's going to be more like that, so covering the shifter. Just decided to full send it and get the pads as close together as possible so they're basically touching. Yeah, so super narrow arms, and able to make that gap between my torso smaller. So yeah, I'm also able to hold them like this, so I move the Wahoo forward. Just in 20 minutes on the rollers. Now I'll try out the new position on the TT bike for 30-40 minutes or so. Yeah, really getting sweat on. It's bloody warm in here today. Just riding zone 1, zone 2, but yeah, the narrow forearms don't feel too bad. Feel like I'm going to get used to them. It's definitely a different feeling on the shoulders to push the upper back upwards. But yeah, obviously being this narrow, kind of what everyone does. So I think it should pay off. So worth learning. Thinking a huge amount about aero for the past few days with making these changes to the time trial bike, and now most of these changes are basically trying to get me adopting a similar position to what all the pros are doing, because those are the guys who have done all the testing to know what's fastest. So you try and adopt a position that's similar to what theirs is, but then in that process I'm making these changes and I'm thinking, okay, what is that change actually changing? And what could be the benefit of that? So thinking that through a little bit, and like I didn't do an engineering degree, so a lot of it's just speculation really. But yeah, trying to come up with some justifications and ideas as to what's going on there. Yeah, doing some like drawings and stuff like that. Thinking about all the changes I've made. I still think there's so many watts to save with my position, and yeah, it's just interesting to just try things out and be like, okay, does that look good?
and it's all just visual inspection at the moment. Just like, okay, how could we change that part of my geometry to better replicate something I've seen by someone else? And yeah, it's an evolving process for sure, but I'm enjoying it.
Morning, guys. 6:15. Early start, as I'm planning to get out the door by 7:30. As 1.5 hour drive to a racetrack in Hull for trip today at 10:30. So yeah, did not sleep well. I woke up after 4 hours sleep. Woke up at 2 o'clock and didn't get back to sleep. So I was just lying in bed for 3.5 hours. But yeah, it's whatever. And yeah, not feeling amazing. Yeah, just can't seem to kick this mild illness, even though I had easy day on Wednesday and then basically 2 rest days in a row, Thursday, Friday, and I would have thought I'd be at least feeling better, but yeah, still got like a little bit of a cough, and yeah, it's just a bit shit really. So yeah, racing this weekend isn't going to do me good, but I'm signed up and I need to. I want to get the experience really. So I'm going to race Saturday, Sunday. Take the rest of those days easy, and I'll probably be in a bit of a hole by the end of the weekend because yeah, I'm definitely. I mean, I'm not bad. I haven't been bad for 2 weeks. Like, it's not been a severe cough at all. But it's just a mild lingering thing. But because it's so mild, you don't take it seriously to, oh, I need a couple of rest days here. You're like, okay, I'm going to be better off doing some easy training to train through it. But yeah, because when I was ill, like 8 weeks ago or something, I was quite ill. So I was like, okay, I just took that whole week super easy, and I just play it day by day, just do 45 minutes on the zone 1 and be like, okay, yeah, I'm not better today, we'll cut it here, and then just chilled out. Whereas last 2 weeks it's been like, okay, I've just got a mild tickle in the throat, I can still train through this, but yeah, it's whatever. So yeah, gonna race this weekend both days, but I'm suspecting that I'll feel like trash by Sunday, Monday, but then just take all of next week, just proper rest week, as though I was properly ill, even though I feel like I'll probably still have this mild cold next week. I just treat it like I'm dying. So but yeah, just crack on today and see how we get on. Aim is to obviously finish the race, just be in contention at the end and then see what happens. But yeah, the key is just get to the finish really. I've done 3 crit races so far and all 3 have been DNFs, but so I need to get that first finish under the belt. They'll need to learn the tactics of the crit racing, so that's what today and tomorrow is going to be about. Arrived now, just before the Masters race, so watch that start, and I've got an hour before mine, so I can start getting everything ready before we're done. Pretty windy though. 35 minutes before the start of the race, so hop on the rollers for 15-20 minutes and then get some time on the track. So, yeah, get on with it, see how it goes. Interesting race for sure, but best one so far, definitely. It was the first time I actually finished 4 races in, finally finished the first one. Yeah, just was on the back for most of it, just making sure I was keeping contact, so not letting wheels go, sprinting as soon as a gap would open just to close it ASAP, and taking the best lines possible through the corners. But they're very shallow corners on this circuit, so you're able to pedal a lot through them, coast a little bit when the speeds are a lot higher, like 45 k's an hour. But yeah, interesting. But yeah, I felt safe at the back, and just I'd monitor what was going on, if gaps were opening, and a lot of the times gaps would open, it would string out, but you could tell the peloton was motivated to bring it back. So even I was able to just hang around, not cover it myself, and just trusted people would bring it back. But then when people were actually dropping, I'd make sure to attack over them so that I maintain contact with the
at the back of the newly formed peloton, and the last like 5-6 laps it got ripped apart really, and I had to do that quite a few times in a row as the peloton was falling to pieces, but managed to. I'm pretty sure I was on the back of the final peloton, and there was 2 guys not far up the road, probably 15 seconds or so, and then I'd maybe 4 laps to go. I attacked and was on the front, but wasn't able to drop the peloton, and I think there was like 5 or 6 guys from the same team, TomLeeCycling, and they just left me on the front. No one else pulled through. I could have been tactical and just like sat up and made someone else pull through, but then there was no chance of catching the 2 guys in front, so kind of threshold and then sprinting out the corners. But attacking from the front is so much harder it's really hard to drop people, so even though I'd sprint out the corners, like the guy behind me would maintain contact, and left me on the front for 3.5-4 laps. I drilled it did an anaerobic effort for the final straight, the last 30 seconds or so it didn't really have a sprint, and about 6 or 7 guys came around me for the sprint, so I might have scraped the top 10, maybe 10th, 11th, something like that, but I'm not sure. First finish, so happy with that. Then for the next one, but make a more decisive move, because it was, I don't know if I didn't realise that I was in the front peloton there, and I was trying to attack through because there was still those guys being lapped as well, so it was a bit confusing. Plenty of room to go on it, and felt alright, but obviously I'm not 100%. But I mean, obviously the fitness I have, I'm able to, even when I'm not well, like I'm able to do a solid effort like this. So do a little bit of a cool down now, and I'm actually going to go to the TT course in Doncaster, where I'm going to do a 25 mile club TT on the 27th of April, so that's 3 weeks away. So I'll do a 40k ride there, do a recce of the course. It's just off the M18 on the way home, so it's a really good opportunity just to have a look at the course. And I don't know, I'd have to make a specific journey up there, because I'm not going to be going to Hull in between that, before that race, so I'd have to make a specific journey up there to recon the course. So I might as well have a look at the Donny to do a recce. They didn't have a position for me, but I think I was just outside the top 10, unless there was more people up the road. Could have well happened. I thought there was a 2-man break that won, and then it was a bunch sprint, which I ended up leading out. But like I said, there could have been more people, so I think just like 7 people came around me in the sprint, so maybe I was like 11th or 12th, something like that. But just happy to get one under the belt, a finish, and then we can start working on tactics tomorrow, and every race going forward. Right, I've arrived in Donny in a lay-by that's close to the start of the 25 miler, so I'll get the bike ready and then get out and do a bit of a recon. Sent in on a wild goose chase around Hull. There's roadworks on the ring road, and it sent me through the city centre, and I'm like, oh, okay, this is smart. But then I took the piss getting through the city centre, and then when I finally got back to the ring road, it wouldn't let me go the direction I wanted. It sent me all the way back pretty much to do a U-turn, because it wouldn't let me cross over the road. So wasted 20 minutes driving around Hull. That was stupid, but at least I know just to stick to the ring road, even though there's fucking massive roadworks going on. So we're here now. I'll have a look at the map and then get out on the bike. It's mega windy out. Hopefully it's not this bad in 3 weeks time. Fucking hell. Right, all ready to go. Mega windy, but nice ride that, and now I have a good idea of the course, which is good. Understand which are the hard sections, which are the slow sections. Nice relaxed way to figure it out before the race day. Cold, wet and windy. We're back at Darley-Moor. Weather's going to be touch and go, but just have to see. It's going to be mega windy for sure, but might catch a break in the rain. Just have to see how we go. Got 40 minutes to get everything ready and warm up. laid up and ready to go. Right, let's have a good one.
That was an interesting one for sure. Probably 25-30 minutes into the race, so I wasn't at the back this time because I guess this was a Cat 4 only race, so no Cat 3 riders, so I was a bit more comfortable than some of the other people in the corners, and I was actually going past some people in the corners, which definitely wasn't happening yesterday. But yeah, like found myself in the front 10 riders consistently for after the first couple of laps, and I could tell there were some really strong riders who were wanting to get a breakaway established. So I wasn't really making any efforts to make that happen, but I was ready to bridge across to a break that might have established, but nothing established. Then I found myself at the front, and very windy, rain coming down. It wasn't actually too bad. It's super windy, that was the main thing. That was the only hard thing about the conditions, really. Yeah, like I said, 30 minutes into the race, I think I was second or third wheel or something, and felt like a gust of wind hit my rear wheel, but then I realised it wasn't a gust of wind, it was someone had clipped my rear wheel, which was really unfortunate, because obviously that's what happened to me 3 weeks ago, and I know it's nasty. I don't think I swerved. I don't think I didn't do anything irrational, really, but it happens, and so I'm assuming they caught some bad wind and clipped me, but unfortunate, because and like I say, it wasn't nice. It was very horrible when it happened a few weeks ago. I'm assuming everyone was okay. The guy I was riding with said the guy's handlebars were mashed up, but I basically sat up for a lap, probably did almost like 4 minutes a lap, so I probably did like a 6-minute easy lap, 6 guys riding off the front. But I just assumed the race would be neutralised like 3 weeks ago, so I was just soft pedalling. Guy came past me, he'd been dropped by the front guys, and I was like, okay, I'll ride round till the crashes, make sure everyone's alright. By the time I got round like 6 minutes later, everyone was gone, so hopefully that means everyone's okay, because they got off the track and I've kept going or went home. But they said they didn't have time to even get the medic out there, which is good, because obviously my crash, like, we were all down on the track for 10-15 minutes. Hopefully it wasn't too bad for the guys who went down, but like I said, I don't know that. So there was 6 guys who were still riding, another guy, and then me. And when I realised, I asked if the race was still on, and they were like, yeah, of course, duh. So I bridged to the guy in between the two close to the breakaway, and I could tell he was one of the stronger riders who was trying to get a breakaway established at the start. So I thought I would have been a dick I would have felt bad attacking over him and trying to bridge by myself. So I was like, okay, get on my wheel, we're working together. This guy called Mark from Matlock CC, so ended up riding with him off the back, chasing the 6 guys up front. I was working hard, but wasn't able to bring them back in. And then last lap, just out of one of the corners, I attacked him just to get a gap, and then brung it in for 7th or so. But it doesn't feel like a good 7th. I mean, if I was in that 6-man break, I could have a good chance I could have won it, but like I would have felt bad either way, because it didn't feel like a proper race, because even though I know that I was one of the stronger riders who was even trying to get a breakaway established, like, you still want to be racing against the full field, and it's not nice to have people go down. So hopefully everyone's okay. I'll go find out how I actually did after I've done 20 minutes on the rollers. Easy week next week. I felt alright today. Obviously not 100% being still like phlegmy and stuff, but better than I felt yesterday. Maybe it's because I actually got a night's sleep. I got 8 hours sleep rather than 4 hours sleep, and wasn't up at 3 a.m. Crazy that. But still going to take it easy next week, just try and get this cold out of the system. Even though I'm not feeling horrible today, but I've told myself that next week's super easy to get me ready for doing a 12-week block of racing. I don't want to go into that 12-week block fatigued. I want to be super motivated to get after it, so I can start upping the intensity and the hours. And it's fucking nasty wind. I mean, wind could have been worse, to be honest, because it's only what the forecast said. It was like 45 mile an hour. It's windy, but not like crazy amount more than normal. I guess I'm so used to horribly bad wind in Chef. Ended up coming 6th overall, they said, so I guess the 6-man break was a 5-man break, or maybe the 6th man from that break fell off. Who knows? Or maybe they got it wrong and I came 7th, but yeah, just have to see. Like I say, not really like happy with the result, just because it didn't feel like a fair race really. Even though it was like before the crash, it was very much a reduced group because we'd been going hard, like doing attacks. Because I was on the front, I didn't really notice how hard we were going, but we had like ripped the peloton to shreds a little bit. After talking with Mikey, another guy in the race who I think had fallen off the back before that crash 30 minutes in. We were working well and we were going hard to reduce that group, and yeah, it's a shame that one of the riders, or multiple, I don't know how many came down. Like, I'm thinking now looking back, just like, okay, how many riders were actually down in the crash? I'm not sure. Yeah, it's a weird one. Yeah, I don't like it that people went down, but yeah, it's part of racing. So yeah, head home now, chill out, and then easy week next week.